What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of
Your Favorite Aunties Podcast. Oh, we did that good.
I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. Lots of church announcements today.
Mm-hmm.
Number one. This Friday,
because today is Wednesday.
This Friday begins our summer tour. We will be in D.C. this Friday, May 16th at Pearl Street Warehouse. If you have not already got your tickets, it might be sold out by the time you see this. But if it is not, make sure you click on either the link in any of our bios or go to yfauntiespodcast.com. Get your tickets to the show. It is going to be so fun, so amazing, full of energy, full of light, full of love, just all the things. And I'm so excited about it.
Yes. And I think the thing that I love the most about when we do live shows is the fact that we truly get to interact with those people who have been incredibly supportive this entire time.
Yeah.
So like we get to connect, to just be in the same room, and just the energy that you get in the same room as the people who love and care about you is unmatched.
True. Very true.
Like truly is unmatched. So I'm so looking forward to it, especially the meet and greet.
Yeah.
Especially the meet and greet, because we got something special for them.
Make sure you get your meet and greet tickets. You get to come in before, get you a good seat, and you get to kick it with the aunties before everybody else comes in, before the show, all of that. We got all the energy and love just for y'all.
Right.
Just for y'all.
Right. And I'm so excited for that. Oh, I cannot wait. And the fashions, honey. I'm looking forward to the fashions.
I can't wait to see their beautiful and handsome faces.
Right.
So excited. Now, if you by chance can't make it to DC, just by chance, because I know you're going to try your best to be there.
Right.
We do have 2 more shows after that. June 13th, we will be in New York City at City Winery. And then July 26th, we'll be in Dallas at the House of Blues. So make sure y'all get y'all tickets to DC this week or New York City and Dallas. It's up.
It's up.
It's up.
And it's up.
Mm-hmm.
And that brings me into the next spot. I am doing my best to listen to you right now. But the smell do you smell it?
I do smell it.
I'm like, it's literally filling the room, and the lids are closed. The lids are closed on these.
Yes.
So we have some candles. If you want to kind of tell, I'll say this. We have candles. We have room sprays. We have carpet powder. We also have, this is for the car.
Yep, car freshener.
We have car fresheners, everything. And these smells are so good. Y'all know I'm a scent girly. I love me a scent. TT keep a fragrance. TT always has something in her car, and my house is full of plug-ins, okay? And I love a good candle.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all right now, I kid you not, these jars are closed, and we could still smell it.
Yeah. Very good quality, because sometimes you buy things and it smell good in the store, and then when you actually using it, it's like, oh, that didn't last long.
Hello,
right? But these are very potent. Yes, come on, SAT. So Angie's Scents Candle Company. Y'all make sure to follow them on Instagram. Angie's Scents Candle Company. We will tag them in the description.
Yeah,
and go get y'all some of these products. They smell so good. We just cannot say that enough. Smell so good. Great products, high quality, and y'all go support Angie's Scents Candle Company.
Absolutely. One more church announcement.
What?
Patreon. There's an episode coming for you, and you are absolutely going to enjoy it. So for all of our patrons, we do want to just say thank you and shout you all out right now for just rocking with us and going behind the wall and just getting to know us, interacting with us. And we really look forward to growing a relationship with you all even the more.
Yeah. So let's get into this topic, honey.
Girl, what we talking about today, friend?
It's a couple of different things we wanted to touch on as a result of some things that people have sent us of what they want to hear about, what they're going through, and just overall what we're going through as well.
Right.
Just talking about expectations and all that encompasses, whether it's your expectations for your life, for others, other people's expectations of you. It is very much a big part of life, managing expectations in every way possible. So that's what we want to talk about today.
So I'm really glad that we get to talk about expectations this particular episode, simply because here lately, I have had to really take inventory of my expectations of others as well as their expectations of me, and seeing what is actually reasonable.
Interesting.
So just to kind of give you an example of what I'm talking about, you know, earlier this year, we were on Dear Future Wifey, right? And me, I'm like, oh, I'm looking cute. I'm looking good. You know, I'm confident. I'm this and I'm that. Baby, they were tearing me every which way but loose in them comments based on what I had. But they didn't manage their expectations of me because they don't know who I am as a woman. They don't understand, like, baby, I do cover up. It's just that particular time I did not. You know, like, I'm a bustier woman. They have like all these other expectations of me, and they're putting them on me. So when I fell short of that, they had everything but a pitchfork for me. And it's like, I had to take the time to realize that these people don't know me from a can of paint. And those who actually listened to the interview really enjoyed it. They gleaned a lot of things from it. And I was just like, I can't live my life based on the approval of others, based on their expectations of me, because I'm obviously going to let you down.
So I guess the question is, where do our expectations come from? And we can go two ways. Where do your expectations come from for other people, and where do they come from for yourself? What is it built off of?
I think sometimes a lot of my expectations are built off of what I would do for someone else.
Okay.
How far I'm willing to go for someone else, good and bad.
So you base your expectations of others on yourself, actually?
In some cases, yes. But then I also take inventory of who they are as a person. And if I know you're not capable of meeting the expectations I have for myself, I switch them around.
Would you say that you lower them?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, lower sometimes it can come off as a derogatory thing or as a negative thing. And it's like, no, some things you do have to lower certain stuff. Like when you and we go to the same chiropractor, and that little machine that they put on our back, some people can't handle it going all the way up. Like there's a certain capacity that you have. And as you continue to get on that machine, it might, you know, get higher and higher and higher. But sometimes they can start off high and they got to take you lower just because you can't hang up here. And it doesn't mean that it's bad. It just means that there's just a little bit more work that needs to happen for you to get to that point.
That's good. It's important. Y'all have heard me say on episodes a million times to manage your expectations, because it's important to assess, like I asked, like, where do your expectations even come from? Because we can place unfair expectations on people, on situations, on relationships. I think that a lot of it comes from like the idealistic view, like ideally, this is how this person would act. Ideally, this is how this relationship would go. How often is life ideal? So when you don't manage your expectations and people cannot rise to them, or they don't have the capacity to rise to them, then you end up disappointed.
Right.
So the key to me to not being disappointed is to manage your expectations.
And also communicate them.
True.
There are a lot of expectations that we have for people, or that people have for us, that have never been communicated. And that's when people get frustrated. That's how fights happen. Right.
And you cannot do that.
Hello. You cannot.
You can't.
And it's like, no matter how connected you are to someone, sometimes you still do have to say the things.
Yeah. Very true. Very true. I was talking to my man, and I was asking him something, and it was something very simple. And he was like, well, why are you even asking me that? Like, of course I would do that. And I was like, I know you're saying that, and I would love to assume that, but it is really important for me to explicitly ask you before I assume that you would do this.
Yeah.
Of course, like, I want you to, and I'm glad that you said you would, but I really do think it's important to ask explicit questions, whether it's in friendship, relationship. No, even if it sounds dumb, like, nah, let me not. Of course they would. No. Ask.
As a matter of fact, they would not.
Ask. For real. Just ask. I'd rather ask and know than assume. And then again, because I have the assumption, I have an expectation, and then you not meet that, and now I'm disappointed.
Have you experienced that lately? Like had an expectation of something and then you were let down? And did you communicate that expectation beforehand?
Have I ever experienced that recently? I don't think I've experienced it recently because I am so big on managing expectations. And to be honest, my expectation overall has lowered. It really, really has. And that's not to say that it's like a depressing thing or anything like that. I just realized through experiences that it's bad to say, but I was expecting too much.
And even in that same context, because I absolutely hear what you're saying. Truly, I do. But it's like, you in your mind are not expecting too much. You're expecting,
To me, it's okay.
Right. It's a reasonable amount.
Yes.
But to someone else, it may be too much.
Correct.
So I feel like we also need to understand that part too. What I'm asking of you is not too much, because either I see that you're capable of it, or I know that it can be done.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a matter, will you have rise to the occasion, or will you understand the occasion?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So thinking of it's not too much for you, it's actually very reasonable. It's your reasonable service, let me tell it. But then on the other end, somebody's like, "Ooh, that's a lot," or "I wasn't, ready for this," or it's like, "Oh."
We had that whole episode on capacity, and that very much ties into expectation.
Yes.
Because I remember just going through different situations, and for me, I'm fine. I'm okay. This is not too much for me. This is my everyday life. But for somebody else, this happens, and that is it for them. Like, they cannot go on. Capacity, though. Yeah. But as much as it's like, well, dang, like, come on. It ain't even that serious. For them, it is.
Right.
So again, managing my expectations of others and of how they handle things, how their capacity. But I do think that there's a balance, because some people need to rise to the occasion. Mm-hmm. And because the expectation is lower, and because we have all the things that we have in place as far as like protecting your mental health and stuff that we talked about on capacity, people are choosing not to rise to the occasion when they can. Mm-hmm. They can. It may be a push. It may be difficult. It may be challenging. But we do need to stretch beyond and not just even lower our expectations for ourselves.
Right. I hear that. That's very good. So we're saying manage expectation, management. What is management? What does that look like? When you say you are managing expectations, or you have kind of lowered them, what does that mean to you?
To me, that means I'm more thoughtful. Mm-hmm. About what my expectations are, mm-hmm. who I'm putting them on, what the situation is. I'm assessing everything instead of a blanket expectation for everyone, because everyone's situation is different. Everyone's life is different. Everyone's capacity is different. So managing my expectation is taking those things into account, right. And not just saying, okay, I expect the same thing from every single person.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I get that. Yeah. That's good. And I think it's important for us to just acknowledge what that actually means. It's like, you're saying manage. How do I manage it?
You got to think.
Consider the source. Consider who you are expecting.
Consider your ways.
Hello? You got to make sure, hey, is this person, are they able to do this? Would they want to do this? Mm-hmm. Do I even have the type of relationship with this person that will require them to do these things?
Able and want to are two different things.
Totally different.
And that's one place your expectations can slip, because you have the expectation because you know that they are able to.
Yeah.
Able to. Mm-hmm. But will they? Uh-huh. That's a whole separate thing.
Yeah.
They can.
Or will they?
But will they?
But did they have what they need to be able to get it done? Like, I will go through a burning house for you. Can I get through that fiery door? I am not a firefighter. I don't have the equipment. I don't have the jaws of life. I am willing. Somebody can be very much willing to do something for you, but do they have the ability? Mm-hmm. So that's another thing that needs to be considered. Mm-hmm. And they got the ability, but are they willing? Mm-hmm. Okay, I went through the fire academy, and also I'm not doing it. Because to me, you're just an acquaintance.
Or just don't want to.
I think we need to talk about friendships, acquaintances.
What, the difference between them?
Yeah.
Because I categorize.
Baby, you do. You are the best categorist.
I have always been like that, because when people show you who they are.
Baby, you got to believe them.
You got to believe them. Because they will show you.
Honey, I didn't think fat meat was greasy.
Lord have mercy.
And I bet I know now.
Because people will show you every time.
Yeah.
Every time. I don't care about words. I don't even care about the past. What have you done for me lately?
And that's a thing. That is such a thing, because you have to often reset your expectations for people.
Because people are always changing.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't go into it, I expect this. And they're rising to the occasion then. But at a certain point, they're not doing it no more. Or y'all aren't as close. Or you don't have the type of relationship that you once held. And that for me is just mind-blowing. Mm-hmm. I bet I know now, though.
People are always changing. We're always changing.
Yeah.
So you may need something different in this season than you needed then.
Right.
And it was fine then, but it's not fine now because you need something different.
Right.
They're not wrong.
Yeah.
They're still providing what they provided in that season. It's just that you need something different now.
Right.
So you manage your expectations of that person.
And communicate them.
If you want to.
Because sometimes you get to a point where it's like, you know what? Don't even worry about it.
Don't even worry. You ain't got to worry about me.
Hello? Before I have a conversation with you about this, I'm just not going to have a conversation at all. And you just got to recognize like who you need to do that to and who you don't.
Very true. Because you'll waste your energy.
Right. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you be talking to a brick wall.
Yeah.
And want that thing to talk back to you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people are just themselves and they don't, I hate to say it, sometimes you don't mean as much to people.
Yeah.
And it's not that anything is wrong with you, but
because it's not just about we're talking about categories. It's not just about how you categorize
yeah.
It's not just about how you categorize somebody. It's how they categorize you.
Right.
So even though this is my friend and I'm saying this my friend, what if you're their acquaintance?
Ooh. Baby, and that's the thing right there.
So now our expectations are off because I'm expecting friend, but you're going to give me acquaintance.
Yeah.
Because we got two different categories going on.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure that it's mutual so that you know what expectations to set for that particular relationship.
How do you manage or see if something is mutual? When in your mind, like, oh yes, this is my friend.
Actions. Because people will always show you where you fall in their life. Always. Effort, sacrifice, time, whatever. People will always show you. You just got to see it and not see what you think they are in your head.
Come on now. You're talking.
It's going to be very clear what they're saying, what they're doing, or the lack thereof. But what we do is, no, I know this is my friend. So you're not seeing what is actually there.
Right. That
life lessons.
Even at the ripe, tender age of 35.
Life lessons.
Hello?
Absolutely.
That thing is something new to me. So, do you consciously revisit your expectations of the people around you? Like, it's been 6 months.
Not consciously. But I think that at this point in my life, I am very aware. So I can easily sense things. And that's when I'll do an assessment. You can always sense things.
What you sensing about us?
That I'm not acting different.
But okay. Now let's just stay right there. Put me right here. No, because let me tell y'all something. This for all y'all little commenters who are trying to say that my friend is being different toward me or just in general. No, she is not. Because y'all are upsetting me and my homegirl. Because this is a place that she and I let you all into.
Hello.
Okay?
Can revoke access at any time.
Better.
Because that's part of the expectation.
Yes.
Like literally somebody commented on one of the episodes and was like, oh, Nia energy is down. So in one part of the conversation, I was just asking questions because that particular piece, I wasn't like in agreement. Like that's not my thing, but I'm just asking questions. The next part of the conversation, I did most of the talking and I'm laughing and so to expect that to be the entire episode, no matter what the topic, no matter what the conversation is unrealistic.
Yeah.
I'm not upset. That just wasn't my thing that we were talking about.
Right.
So I'm just asking questions like, oh, okay, all right. Then we move on to the next piece and I'm laughing. It's almost unbearable, the expectations that people put from the outside looking in. Right. Because even if you were sitting with your homegirl having a conversation, you're not going to be on 10 for 35 minutes. Think about it.
At this age.
We are sitting here talking, having a 30, 35, 40-minute conversation.
Right.
And you expect somebody to be high energy for that long.
I think that because social media is in doses and people have the attention spans of grapes, you almost have to engage at that. Yeah. All right. What you almost have to do that in order. But it's just like you also have to take into account our personalities. Like Nia is a hoot. She is fun to me.
But I'm always chill. When have you ever seen me on 10? When? It's just not in me.
You on 10 in our text messages.
But I be chilling.
But I,
you know
as a
what
person,
I'm saying?
be chilling.
Like, I be chilling. Like, we be laughing or whatever. But even in that moment, like, I'm still chilling.
Right. And I also think that because your personality is so chill and mine is just a little bit more boisterous, or mine is just a little bit more, you know, it's looked at as like, oh, she's being like low energy. No, she is just being chilling. Herself. I'm just also on 10. You know?
Yeah.
So, you know, when you compare and contrast in that regard, okay, cool. But then there are also times when we have episodes and I'm really not as engaged. And it has nothing to do with Nia. It may have everything to do with life. Because life be lifing.
It do.
And, you know, let me tell y'all something. I don't know how she keeps on getting on this list, but she is one of God's strongest soldiers. Me, on the other hand,
a lot going on.
Friend, you know, I'll cry. I will walk away from something in a minute and be like, I have washed my hands. I give up. There have been many a times where I've like legit cried before we get to filming, and I'm having to like, you know, suck it up, or, you know, just like really get into the moment, and I'm having a hard time. So she's going to have to carry the episode for that particular time. But y'all don't understand, like, this is my girl. This is my friend. So for those of you all who are saying something, catch me outside. How about that? Because this one, I don't play behind.
Yeah.
Now, they really be upset at me because you're my girl.
Yeah, no, it upsets me too because it's just so unrealistic. And I'm like, y'all don't know what be happening before these cameras turn on and these lights turn on.
Okay.
Like, I have a whole life and a lot going on in that life.
Right.
And then we come here, we sit down and have this conversation, and y'all think that this is the only life we live on in front of the camera. And it's like, no.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just so unrealistic. Like, you living your life too.
Hello?
Like I said, if you have a 40-minute conversation with your friend, you're not on 10 for 40 minutes.
If you are, what drug is it?
So just, again, managing your expectations of others. Like, you know what? They are real people.
Hello?
They are actual people. Who knows what's going on behind the scenes?
And then just one more side quest to that. Nia has had a man since season 2.
Quite literally.
So, and it's the same man I'm mad. Because I said she's had a man.
Clarify.
She's had the same man since season 2. So for those of you all, somebody was like, oh, you know, Nia started acting different ever since she got a man. How's she going to act different ever sinti she got a man? Baby, that would have been from season 1 to season 2.
Hello.
Okay? She has been the same yesterday, today, and forever. Okay?
Unchanging.
Because
no shadow of turning with me.
Baby, shut up. If anybody acting funny when they get a man, it be me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, yeah.
And y'all not about to sit up here and make it seem like my friend is treating me any kind of way, or that she's doing something to me. No, she is not. This girl is my best friend. I could tell her some stuff and call on her. No, because it upset me. No, because you made me mad.
Calm down, friend. We was doing good.
All I'm saying is,
just chill, man.
Chill.
Manage your expectations. Golly. Because the thing with expectations, I lived under that weight for a very long time. The expectations of other people for me.
Right.
And it is a very, very heavy weight.
Right.
And it takes a lot to choose to live your own life and be yourself when everybody is telling you to do something and be something different. And even in regards to my personality, I have always been chill. I'm actually less chill now than I used to be. I did not talk. I was very much introverted. Find me in a book somewhere. Like, I was not talking like that. Anybody who went to school with me, they'd be like, Nia is so quiet.
Yeah.
So just for people like that to see me now, they're like, oh my gosh.
Who is this girl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so just imagine that kind of weight to live under your whole life with people telling you that your personality is not okay, or people misinterpreting your personality all the time when you're like, I'm just being myself.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with me. I'm chilling. I'm good. I'm just not an extrovert.
Yeah.
But that's what we see, I think, mostly on social media, on TV, and all that. So you think that everybody who appears on social media, on TV, has to fit into that mold. So, I mean, y'all don't understand. I will be behind the scenes in a moment. I don't care about no mic, no stage, no platform, none of that.
Yeah.
I do this because it's what God has called me to do. But I'm also not going to conform to what other people think I should be and how other people think I should act. I have to be myself.
Right. Be ye therefore unconformed.
Hello? Do not be conformed to this world.
Or people's expectations.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, it is. Being in this seat definitely bears a real weight that everybody cannot carry. Everybody cannot.
It looks easy. I think that's why people think they can.
Yeah, because I mean, you just look good doing it.
Period.
But you don't know another way to look.
Hello.
So it's just like we get up here and we have these conversations and we talk, but y'all wasn't with us when they was, talking all crazy, saying all kind of stuff.
Hello.
You have to have like a really strong sense of self-esteem. You have to, because people will nitpick any and everything about you. The very things that you don't even let people know are like, what is it? What is insecurities?
Insecurities.
They will play on that and they don't even realize
They don't even realize it.
So you have to.
You got to act like they not.
Right.
Can't let them get to you.
Right.
But it's like, dang,
the whole time.
Kind of hurt my feelings a little bit.
Yeah, that really wasn't cool.
Yeah.
Because if I talk about your mama, then all of a sudden I'm going to be wrong. Whole time I wouldn't have talked about it if you wouldn't have said anything. Why do I sound so cool?
That's true, though, because those comments, like I said, I've lived under that weight for a long time. So those comments are actually very triggering for me.
Correct.
Because it's like, because you kind of would go into, okay, well, maybe I need to turn it up. But then it's like, no, I am being myself.
And you have the right to be
and
yourself.
I have a right to be myself.
Yeah.
If that is not me, then I should not have to be something other than me.
Yeah.
So it was actually very triggering to see people say that, knowing that I'm just being myself. Yeah.
And I feel like the people who have things to say about anything that we do on this show could not do it, because if they could do it, then they would be doing it.
They would understand too.
They would understand, or they would be doing it. And they're not doing either one. So next time you want to say something to somebody about something, think about the fact, like, could I actually do this? And if I can do this, why am I not doing this?
It reminds me of the girl who we posted something and the girl was like, to be honest, this was kind of whack. Do you remember that? It was a clip or an ad or something.
No, I don't remember that.
No, you responded. You were like, so are you volunteering to be our social media manager?
Oh, yeah.
So it was like, why would you say that?
Yeah.
Because you don't know how long it took us to do that, how long it took to come up with that idea, to execute, to post it for everybody to see.
Yeah.
But all you get to say is, oh, that's whack.
Yeah, no, she was definitely trying to say something about like comfort, how we uploaded something or this wasn't right. So I was like, oh, so are you applying for the position?
Where's your content?
Right.
Oh,
you don't have any. Okay, well then shut up. You can't criticize what you can't do.
Manage your expectations.
Right. And then she didn't say anything after this. Okay, so shut up. You don't have a real opinion.
Is it really? You know what? Like our perception, the way that we view things, it matters. And you have to think, my pastor was actually just talking about that last Sunday. He was talking about the scripture that says, consider your ways. And he was like, your ways is not just what you do. Your ways is why you do the things that you do. It's the lens that you view things through. It's your thoughts. It's all of that, not just the actual action, because there's a whole bunch behind that.
Right.
And if you consider your ways, you will also consider why you show up in the world the way that you do.
Correct.
So why do I show up in the world ready to criticize people for doing something that I do not do? Why? There's something behind that. You know what I mean? Like, you really do need to take the time to consider your ways. Why is it okay to comment on a young lady's thing and tell her she ugly?
Right.
For what? What does that do for you, and why does that do that for you?
Right.
Consider your ways.
Does she remind you of the, girl that turned you down? Or like, up on here talking about people weight. First of all, if I even let you halfway in a room with me, then all that kind of stuff be pissing me off. Cause like,
for what? What is the purpose?
What did you do that for? Did some money get deposited in your account?
It had to have made them feel better.
And it's like, why does putting somebody down make you feel better?
Exactly.
Because I promise you, with the way that I live my life, I am not concerned enough with somebody else.
I ain't never fixed my fingers.
Hello.
To type on anybody's stuff. And then also just having a platform within itself is just very humbling. When I see people doing it, even if I don't agree with them doing it, even if I would do it differently, I'm not finna say nothing because you doing it.
Hello?
You doing it.
Yeah.
And half the time you doing it on a greater level than I am. So what I got to say about it? I'm looking up, trying to criticize from down here.
Hello? How you hating from outside the club?
You can't get in.
You can't even get in.
My God. Expectations.
Manage them.
My God, today. Somebody go be set free.
Be ye therefore set free.
Manage those expectations.
This day.
it applies to so many different situations.
Yeah, it really does.
It really does.
Friend, it's good to me.
Hello?
I had kind of lost the plot a little bit when we was talking about you, but
I know, that's why I was like, really?
That had upset me a little bit.
Really did. But no, that was a vulnerable moment for me because that was very triggering.
Yeah.
Like, I be putting on a good face, but some of those comments are very triggering because I've dealt with that for a very long time. And so that's why I talk a lot about confidence, about self-esteem, because all of that stuff affected me for a very, very long time. Thank God it doesn't now. Yeah. It triggers me because it triggers what I used to feel and what I used to think, but it doesn't make me try to be something else because you can only do that for so long.
Yeah.
You know?
But praise God that you're in another place. And I'm glad that even though, yes, those things have been hurtful or what have you, they haven't, broken you. And you're still able to come and sit here because from the things that people have said to us, we could have easily just been like, all right,
forget
y'all.
this.
Because we don't have to we don't have to do this. Like outside of this, we get money. If anything, we probably could let this go.
Less stress, less worry, less time. Hello. Don't need it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not to say you got to agree with everybody. You got to support everybody.
Right.
But
shut up. That's the message. Today's message is shut up. Be ye therefore closed mouthed. Sometimes you don't need to get fed. Who said closed mouth don't get fed? You might need to sit this one out.
We can skip a meal.
Hello?
Consider your ways. Consider your ways.
Baby. And I'm
yourself. Your own self.
Hello.
Work out your own soul salvation.
With fear and trembling, I may add.
I'm so worried about myself. I ain't got time to worry about nobody else.
Hello. And then people get to asking us, well, how do you feel about this? Baby, I don't feel no ways.
Tired.
Hello? I don't got a way to feel about that.
Hello.
I'm too busy feeling about me to let alone feel about something else.
You're not going to catch me commenting on too many things.
Because who are me to judge?
And because we know that there's so many other things that you're not even seeing.
Right.
You get to form your opinion on 30 seconds. 45 seconds.
Because you're not going to go watch the rest of the episode.
Hello.
You're not going to. You're not willing to sit down and do the research before you get to talking about something. You're not going to put in the work that it takes to understand why somebody is saying what they're saying. No, you're just going to take this little clickbait that somebody put out so that they can get some views, so that they can get some money. Great. Now you've become a pawn in that.
Yeah.
Or start like you're saying like negative things, but you're engaging with the post. So you're making me money. It's like you're doing the very thing you don't want to do.
Very true. Very true.
You're more powerful not saying anything.
Come on. Silence is powerful.
Hello?
Wow. That's a good one. That's a good one.
You're talking too much.
Come on.
Zip the lip.
That's why the people say boycott. You got to pull your power away.
Hello?
Not put it into that.
Okay.
As long as you're engaging, that's where it is. That's a whole word right there.
Right there.
Silence is powerful.
Silence is key. Zip the lip.
Major key alert.
Y'all listen, because we are out of time, but we are never out of content. We ain't said that in a while, friend.
Yeah, that was good. We might have to do part 2.
You want to?
We might.
Okay. Well, listen, we love y'all, and this has been another incredible episode of Your Favorite Aunties Podcast. Bye.